Hi everybody, this is Crystal. Welcome to my channel, Bagoday Crochet, where we talk about anything and everything that has to do with yarn or crochet, and sometimes knit. But today we're going to be talking about crochet. I'm going to show you how to do the mile-a-minute stitch. Now this is very beautiful and it works up very quickly, almost a mile a minute. So there's tons of different variations of the mile-a-minute stitch. I'm going to show you this one's pretty classic. So it's made in strips, and then they are sewn together. Makes beautiful, beautiful afghans. I've seen bags made out of it. Like if you made these a little, you can make them as, make them as long as you want. Sometimes people fold them up and, sew up the sides and line in, put some handles on it, stuff like anything you want. But it's most commonly used for blankets and stuff. But why don't we go ahead and get started on it, and we'll talk about how easy and fast it is. So the yarn that I use, you can use whatever yarn you want depending on what you're making. Is I use the rainbow here is Ice Yarn Picasso, which I get at iceyarns.com, and then the black is Premier Basic, which is a medium weight number 4 acrylic. This is also a medium weight number 4 acrylic. Remember, you use any. This is called, there's a color, this one's charcoal. Okay, but you use any color of yarn that you'd like. And for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to be using a J, which is a 6mm crochet hook. All right, we're going to start off with a slip knot on our hook. We're going to work a chain of 7. And now we're going to be working in the 4th chain from our hook. So we don't count the one that's on our hook. 1, 2, 3, 4. And in that 4th chain, we are going to go into it and work 3 double crochets. So yarn over and go into it. Maybe. Finally. I'm going to work 3 double crochets. There's 1, 2, and there is 3. And then we're going to chain 2, and we're going to go back into the same spot, and we're going to work 3 more double crochets. This first one's kind of always the hardest one. It's awkward, but after that it's easy breezy. There's 2, and there's 3. So we have worked 3 doubles, a chain 2, 3 doubles in the 4th chain from our hook. Now we're going to go in and end by slip stitching into the very last stitch of our row. So if you look at what we have here, we have a chain here on the end and a chain here on the end. Both of those are going to count as double crochets. So actually we have 4 doubles because we did the 3 plus the chain, a chain 2, and then 4 doubles. Now what we're going to do is we're going to kind of flip our work. So the point is down here. We're going to chain 3, which is going to count as a double crochet. We're going to go back into the same spot again, and we're going to work 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, go back into the same spot and work 3 more double crochets. So 1, 2, and 3. And now we're going to end by putting a double crochet into the top of this chain 3 here on the end. See this? So just yarn over and go into the top of that chain 3 and double crochet. So that's what it kind of looks like, kind of like a little diamond, I guess. So now we're going to start working up. So this is the bottom, and we're going to start working up. So we're going to chain 3, which counts as a double crochet, and turn our work. And we're going to be working into this chain 2 space right here, and we're going to work 3 double crochets. There's 1, 2, 3, chain 2, and 3 more double crochets. And again, we're going to end by putting a double crochet into the top of this chain 3 here on the end. Just like that. Chain 3, turn our work back, and that's what we're going to repeat now. Right here in this chain 2 space, we're going to work 3 doubles, chain 2, and 3 doubles, double crochet into the top of this chain 3 here on the end. And that's the pattern we're going to repeat until we get our piece as long as we want it to be. Chain 3, turn, go back into this chain 2 space, 3 doubles, chain 2, and 3 doubles, double crochet into the top of this chain 3 here on the end, and repeat. Chain 3, turn our work, 3 doubles, chain 2, 3 doubles in the chain 2 space, and we'll continue this pattern, like I said, until you get it as long as you want it to be. So say you're making a throw blanket, make it like 60 inches or so, you know, that's about average. We're doing however, you know, the lengthwise that you want it to be. Making a baby blanket, I don't know, make it about 40 inches or so. A bag, you know, however big you want your bag, folded in half, something like that. Or whatever you're making, however tall, whatever you're making, you want it to be. Maybe you're making a king size blanket, then you might need to make it about 90 inches. So you know what I mean. Just however long, whatever you're making, you want it to be, however tall, that's how much you just keep repeating this until you get that height. And once you get it that height, I'm going to stop here short and show you. We do one, so say I got mine as long as I want it to be. What we're going to do now is we're going to do one last shell at the top to make it match the bottom shell. So remember, the bottom shell had the 4, chain 2 and 4. So we're just going to do that. The very last shell, we're going to chain 3, turn our work. Once you get it as long as you want it to be, in this chain 2 space, we'll do 4 doubles. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry about that. Chain 2, and then 4 more doubles. This is just so the top matches the bottom. You get the same point at the top as you do at the bottom. That's 3, 1 more makes 4, so 4 doubles, chain 2, 4 doubles, and go ahead and end it the same. Double crochet into the top of this chain 3 here, and then you can go ahead and tie this yarn off and switch to the color that you want to border it with. So as you can see, I use black for mine, but just to show you, because black doesn't show up very well, I'm gonna use a different color. I know it does not match, but just for tutorial purposes so you can see it better. It still is Premier Basic, but the color is called Sea Glass, all right? I know it looks funny together, but it's much easier to see. So you get the color that you want to border it in, and we're going to start right here in this very first double crochet of this group of 4 at the top that we just did. So go ahead and put your hook in there and pull your yarn through and then chain 1. Now I'm going to go back into that same spot and I'm going to work a double crochet like that, and then I'm going to work a double crochet into the next 3 double crochets. So you'll have 4 double crochets in a row here. And then when I get to the chain 2 space, I'm going to go into it and I'm going to work 3 double crochets. That. A chain of 2, and 3 more double crochets back into the same space. So if you want to slide them over, you can. Like that. So that's 3 doubles, chain 2, 3 doubles up there in that point. And then we're going to carry along these 4 double crochets right here. We're going to put 1 double crochet in each of these 4. This first one always hides, so make sure you pull these stitches back. And there it is. You got to get him so your piece isn't off-centered. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, don't go into this double crochet here on the side. That gets left alone. Now what we're going to do is we're going to be working in these spaces on the sides here, and we're going to be putting 3 double crochets in each of these spaces. So I'm just going to jump right over here to this space. I'm going to go right through it, and I'm going to work 3 double crochets. There's 1, 2, and 3. I'm not going to chain 1 or anything. I'm just going to jump to the next space right here, and I'm going to work 3 double crochets into it. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to jump to the next space right here. Just right through the space, we're working 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Again, jump to your next space right here. 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to keep doing that for however long your piece is until we get down here to the last space. And that's where I'll meet back up with you. So however long you made your shell piece, you know, whether you're making a big blanket or something smaller, keep doing 3 double crochets in each of these side spaces until you make it down to the bottom to your last side space. And that's where I'll meet back up with you at. Alright, so I'm at my last side space here. See that? Before I get to the end here, I'm going to go ahead and put 3 double crochets into this space, just like we did before. And now I'm going to make this top match the bottom. So I'm going to put 1 double crochet in each of these 4 double crochets. Remember though, one of the double crochets is a chain space. So go through that top of that chain space and work a double, and then a double crochet into the next 3 double crochets. So you'll have 4 double crochet there. And then we're at the chain 2 space. So in the chain 2 space, we're going to work 3 doubles. That, chain 2. Slide it over if you need to, and 3 more doubles into that space. Just like that. Now we're going to do the same thing down this side that we just did down this side. So we're going to put 1 double crochet into the next 4 double crochets. And remember, sometimes this guy hides, so make sure you get him. So there's 1, 2, 3, and this last one's like, it's kind of the chain space, remember, from the beginning. So there'd be 4. And now we're going to be working into these spaces here on the side, working 3 double crochets into each of the spaces. The same thing that we did on the other side. 3 double crochets here. Jump to the next one, 3 double crochets here, and we're going to continue this until we make it back down to our starting point. 3 double crochets in each of these side spaces, and I'll meet back up with you here. Alright, so I have made it here. I put 3 double crochets into my last side space, and I'm going to end the border here by putting a slip stitch into my first double crochet. Now, I don't tie off, because I connect as I go. If you want to tie off, some people just make a whole bunch of these and then they sew them together later. That's completely up to you, however you want to do it. But I'm going to show you how I connect as I go. So I have this piece here, right here. So I put the right side of it facing me, although both sides, yeah, the right side of it facing you. And here is the last one I sewed on. So I'm going to take this piece right here. It's a little shorter than these, I guess. And normally you make them, you make them all the same length, but I'm just showing you for the tutorial purpose. Put this one upside down on it. Let me clip off these tails here that I hid as I was crocheting, so they're not getting in the way of what you're seeing. Okay. Well, that one needs to be hid, but all right. So this is how I sew it on. You don't have to sew it on exactly like me. You can do it any way that you like. But for me, this piece is facing right side up. This piece I'm going to put down facing wrong side. All right. And then I am going to slip stitch it on. So I am going to go into, see right here, this is where we stopped. Here's this is the first set of 3 double crochets in our side space. Now we need to find them over here. So we're going to go into the first one here and the first one here. What I do is I go into the first loop of the first double crochet of these side stitches. Just go right into it. And then on this back piece over here, I go into the back loop of the black, but I go into, so here's my side stitches right here. This double crochet here, the very first one. I go into the back loop of it. The back loop only. Like that. And then I slip stitch. Like that. And that's how I'm going to do it all the way down. So the next stitch, I'm going into the front loop only. If you look, your stitch has 2 loops. The one closest to you is the front loop. The one furthest away is your back loop. I'm only going through that front loop on this piece. And I go through the exact same stitch on the opposite piece, but go through the back loop only. And slip stitch. Again, you go to your next stitch, front loop only. And then the next stitch on the back piece that's matching, back loop only. Slip stitch. And now we're at our next group of 3 here. Front loop on this stitch only, and back loop on your back piece, slip stitch. And this is what we're going to do all the way down. Front loop on the front piece, back loop on the back piece. Making sure your stitches match up. Your set of 3 double crochets match up on both sides, so it comes out even. Front loop, and then back loop on the back piece. Now, however long your piece is, you just keep doing it until you make it down. Okay, just keep going until you get to your last set of 3 double crochets. You can see right here, here is my last set of 3 double crochets before I get to where I did 4 double crochets, 3, and then I hit the corner. All right, this is where we're going to stop. So go ahead and do that last 3 set, and then you can tie that off. And then when you flip it over, it's facing right side out now. And you have a nice little ridging here, just to add a detail. Since you just went through the front and back loops of those, gives a little added detail there for the sewing. You can see it there a little bit on my black. Now remember, this is shorter, it's going to look funny, but once you go down to the ends, and I had on my tails, they all come out equal. See that? And that's the way it looks. That's how you do it. I like it when people make throws like this and then they put like a tassel or a fringe on the end of each of these. That's always really pretty. But it's also pretty left just like this too as well. But that's how you do it. Just keep making these and then sewing them on. make them and sew them on, or you can make them all together like I said, and then sew them on at the end. Make them at however long you choose. I hope you enjoyed my tutorial, and I hope that you were able to understand it and it was clear enough. If you make this, please don't forget to show me a picture, whatever you make out of it, on my Bagoday Crochet Facebook page. There's a link to that below in the description box. And there's also a link in the description box, the very first one. There's a playlist of over 1,000 crochet tutorials that you can enjoy. You can look through there. I have anything that you could ever want to make, multiples of them. I'll also put a playlist of my other stitches. I have a bunch of stitch tutorials as well, in case you want to take a look at that. Maybe you'll find some other stitches that you want to make a blanket or something else out of. But until next time, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Subscribe, like, leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think, all right? And until next time, have a good day, everybody. Bye, guys.